Hi, welcome to Mad Max, the game? I don't know, does it have another title? Mad Max, anyway. Mad Max Road Rage. We're doing the second story mission. It's called Magnum Opus. And Magnum Opus is Latin for life's work, or big work, really, but it's come to mean your life's work. Great work, I suppose. I digress. In this, it's building your car. Because in the first mission we've realised the black on black is gone forever. And Chumbucket seems to know his stuff. Chumbucket Overdrive indeed. And obviously it's got to be 8 cylinders. But first we've got to get her body because she is merely a shell. So in we get into this rickety old thing and head off to follow the marker. So drive to the graveyard. The rocks are destructible, which I really like. You've got damage bar on the right, the green bar, bottom right. Fuel is the yellow bar at the top. We'll talk about that in a minute. Sorry about that phone alert. Let me turn that down. And the weapon that you've currently got selected is the one in the middle, the shotgun at the moment. That's all we've got. Ammo for the shotgun. Next to it, there's the map. That's where we're headed. And it automatically ran our fuel out here as a MacGuffin, because we've got to go and find some. There's some scrap up here. Scrap is what you basically spend on everything, from Max's upgrades to car upgrades to reinforcing strongholds, which is very cool. The game's actually, it's really growing on me. I'm about, I don't know, 6 hours into it on another playthrough just to kind of look ahead. And because I wanted to see if it was really worth sticking with, and it is. The upgrades are kind of awesome. The levels all get a bit the same. That fuel bucket was empty, but there was some scrap there that I completely ignored. I don't know why, I'm sorry. 2 in there, they're really easy to find right out in the open. Your fuel will always run out just as you hit here, but the viewpoints, we'll see one in the next video, are pretty spectacular. They're very much like Assassin's Creed. But instead of it just automatically unlocking things, you've got to look around with your binoculars, which I like. It's kind of a neat flourish. They're kind of tricky to get into. I was wondering how they'd make them challenging, but they've actually done a really good job of making them hard to get into. So I'll do some videos on how to unlock those as well. The fighting's quite meaty. There's a lot more upgrades than I suspected. That's really opened out. And all the little upgrades to the car are quite fun too. Some of them don't really have much difference. Like obviously the paint ones don't have much impact. But we'll see. I'm having fun with it though. I'm just concerned that it gets very much the same very, very quickly. Anyway, looting, there's a couple of bits of scrap in there again. Don't know why I didn't get them. I'll just put together a video of all the scrap in the first zone. I think there's only 4 or 5. But now we've got some fuel, we can head on. There's also ziplining. We'll see ziplining in a minute, so it's a bit like Far Cry 4. And the combat really does start to flesh out a bit more like Batman than I had the initial impression. There's weapons and gadgets and special moves and like a combo meter, and there's in-game rewards and the mechanisms for we just got to blow this gate up, so you wanted to grab some extra fuel to put in the back of your truck there. Boom! There's a few of those, mostly once we get the harpoon, though we tend to be able to smash stuff open pretty easily. Anyway, driving on down here, yeah, sorry, the combat's a bit like Batman, the exploration's a bit like Far Cry, and Assassin's Creed. What else is it like? It's got, you know, level up elements, and it's a bit like Far Cry in that respect, in that only about half of them are useful. Yeah, that's the other thing, the level ups for Max. Most of them are a bit cack. Like there's one that gives you more health back from food, but I've never seen food not heal me all the way that I needed. The one to get more water from water canteens thing is kind of okay, that's alright. I've gone bare-chested and full-bearded, so the armour upgrades aren't that worthwhile. Knuckle dusters are neat. So he's got like equipment upgrades and sort of you can loot more scrap, loot more ammo from things, those sort of survival skills upgrades. And you spend scrap on them all. Anyway, we eventually make it there after dodging some explodey stuff. And there's a bunch of bodies hanging up here because that's what happens in a graveyard. They hang cars from cavern roofs. There's 3 bits of scrap in here. First is just on the left. They're all pretty hard to miss, to be honest. Come up here, that one's on the left. There's optional 1 of 2. Zip line across here. This is where it gets a bit like Far Cry. Whee! Other games must have zip lines that I just haven't thought about. And this was, I've discovered since, by the makers of Just Cause. I really enjoyed Just Cause 3. Didn't make a video on it. It was before I was making videos. But solid game. Didn't finish it by any stretch, but really just enjoyed kind of, throwing harpoons on planes and then hang gliding down while firing a rocket launcher. It was just kind of open world carnage in a very entertaining way. Scrap number 2 up here on the right after the second zip line. There we are. And the third one just opposite here, up against these wheel rims. Grab that and then go and pick your car cover. I picked the classic Knight Rider one. Wild Hunt, also because of The Witcher, so why not? In my other playthrough I've taken the kind of one that looks like an old 60s car. You learn a new combat move here, Evade, for when they flash red over your head. They're kind of hard to hit after they've evaded, so you need to counter them and then punch them in the stomach a lot up against a wall. You can steal their shiv. I thought he was down, but he's not, so he comes back and gets off the angle and don't evade in time, so that was a little bit messy. But the shiv allows you, if you stun them, to stab them in the face. You'll see this shiv counter down there next to the shotgun, just above the shells. Shiv next to shotgun above shells. I quite like that, it's quite alliterative. And then there's a bunch more people. I thought I'd show this because it's kind of broader combat now. You also get perfect timing if you counter exactly as the circle closes, you get a perfect parry. Perfect parry! Sadly, angels don't sing. But you do a buttload extra damage. I'm not sure it's even been enabled yet. Or maybe it's a skill that you unlock, I forget. There's a whole bunch of combat skills to unlock, which is quite exciting. I've unlocked 3 or 4 of them so far. But things start to go expensive. Scrap you run out of very, very quickly, so I would recommend for your I'll talk about this more when we get character upgrades, but I would recommend for your first character upgrade, skaboosh, investing in the extra scrap and extra ammo. And like a fool, I ran around most of the first 6 hours I was playing thinking I could only carry 1 shotgun shell, but you can actually carry 3 out of that. All these explosions go off. I thought I'd show this because they're pretty nifty explosions. Kick this ladder down, that's a shortcut. There's a lot of these where ladders are curled up and you have to get above them to drop them down to create a shortcut back up. It's kind of neat. Seriously, phone, how many times do I have to silence you? I'm so sorry. Let's crack on. Through here. This is where we get our first taste of car combat, and it's actually a little unfair because we don't have grinders on yet, so we can't just ride up alongside them and go ring, ring, ring. This guy's got spikes to repel borders, amongst other things. First of all, we're going with the shotgun though. You'll see it goes into slow motion when you aim. All these cars stupidly carry a massive exploding barrel on their back. Don't ask me why. But it makes it very easy to kill them. The downside being, there's a guy I failed to run over there. The downside being that you can only carry 3 rounds plus 1 in the chamber. You can upgrade it to a double barrel shotgun later, so you can carry 5, and you can upgrade ammo belts to carry more ammo as well. But this is a side round gone wrong. Didn't really have the hang of it there, trying to drive him up into the wall. So eventually just did a head-on, which isn't always the best move unless you've got a battering ram. I didn't lose any health there, but I think it's because it's tutorial mode. This next guy coming up, he'll come up here and jump out of this pipe on the right. I get him a bit better. So you come up alongside them and slide into them, then drive away a bit and go straight back in. Quite often they'll drop scrap, and you can get stronghold upgrades that will go around picking up the scrap for you so you don't have to get out of your car, which is really just a phenomenally nice touch. I think it's really, really good. The upgrades for the strongholds are neat. Anyway, on the left, the first mission, feral man, not the first man, feral mission. On the right, the next mission, although I'm just letting Chumbucket upgrade the car there, that's why he's always riding in the back. Because as soon as you stop, he'll jump up and fix it, which is really kind of cool too. And on the top left, top right, even click the I for access to the playlist and a lot more. I will see you in the next video. Lots of love till then. Bye!